Here's a stat I can't stop thinking about. In Sweden, more than 82% of people over 18 turn out to vote in elections. 82.6%. In the US, just over half the voting age population shows up to the polls. We're getting our asses kicked by Denmark, South Korea, the Netherlands, and a whole host of other developed democracies. If we resort this chart to show what percent of registered voters actually voted, we're near the top of the list. The US has a huge gap between the share of people who can vote and the share of people who actually do. But it turns out a lot of these countries are doing something really simple that could make that gap disappear. If you take all 50 states and rank them by the share of eligible voters, that's citizens over 18 who aren't felons, that actually voted in 2016, you can see a huge variation. Now let's look at the states that allow you to register to vote when you show up on election day. Notice something? The states with the highest turnout rates all have it. All the states below the national average, well, they don't. Most of them make you register nearly a month in advance. And there's a whole host of reasons people might not be registered. Nearly a third of unregistered Americans say they intend to and just haven't gotten around to it. Others say it's inconvenient or they just don't know how. In Minnesota, 12% of people who voted in 2016 registered on election day. That's 350,000 people. Maine, New Hampshire, Wisconsin, and Idaho all had lots of people registering last minute too. Simply put, if you make it easy for people to register to vote, they'll vote. Oregon has figured that out. Turnout increased nearly 4% from 2012 to 2016. That's more than double what we saw nationally. It's no coincidence that in 2015, Oregon became the first state to enact automatic voter registration, or AVR. Here's how it works. Anyone who has an interaction with Oregon's Department of Motor Vehicles is automatically added to the list of registered voters, called a voter roll. The state sends them postcards giving them a chance to register with a party or decline to be registered. It changes the system from opt-in to opt-out. So a 16-year-old getting their driver's license will be automatically registered to vote when they turn 18. A new resident who changes their ID or car registration will also be automatically registered. In total, 272,000 people were registered this way, and more than a third of them actually voted in 2016. Of those voters, 37% of them were under 30. Compare that to the voters who were registered through the traditional fill out the vote form method, and only 13% were under 30. AVR got more young people to come out on election day. 13 states in Washington, D.C. have already passed AVR legislation, and will have it running by the 2020 election. It'll have massive effects in California alone, where there are nearly 7 million eligible people not registered to vote yet. Let's go back to that chart with all the other countries. These are the ones that have automatic voter registration. If the US implemented it nationally, we could literally move up in the world. Plus, it'll make our voting system more secure and more accurate. Now when you move, you have to re-register to vote. That creates duplicate registrations and makes it harder for voter rolls to be kept updated. With AVR, your registration moves with you, no duplicates. It'll also be cheaper. Everything will be electronic, and there will be millions of less registrations to process. But most importantly, it could automatically register nearly 50 million Americans, who would then get a chance to help decide how the country should be run.